Praised be Jesus and Mary. On this date, September 19th, 1846, Our Lady appeared to two young shepherds, Melanie and Maximin, on the heights of a mountain of La Sallette in France. They heard her voice from more than 50 feet away, telling them to come forward and to not be afraid. And she was there to announce good news to them. Great news, she said. And the public message of La Sallette foretold chastisements for France. Now that's not too good a news unless people would heed Our Lady and to avoid these chastisements. She foretold that if people did not cease to profane the Lord's day, to cease taking his name in vain, to cease mocking religion, if they would not stop these things, that their potatoes would turn to dust, and their nuts would spoil, and that their grapes would rot. And worst of all, that little children would die in the arms of their parents from a sickness never before seen. And unfortunately, the people did not heed Our Lady, and these predictions did come to pass. Our Lady told them that if the people were converted, that the very stones and rocks would become wheat, and that they would find potatoes growing that no one had planted. Melanie and Maximin were both told secrets, and Melanie was told to reveal her secret after the year 1858. And she did. She published it herself in the face of great difficulties. And it was important back then, and it remains important for the church today to be aware of its contents. Here's a short summary of the secret of La Sallette. The Blessed Mother announced that it was primarily defections, the defections of the church, which would bring down a chastisement upon the world. She said, God is going to strike in an unprecedented manner, and that no one's going to be able to escape so many concerted woes. She said many will abandon the faith. The number of priests and religious will separate themselves from the true religion will be great. That many religious institutes will lose the faith entirely and cause the loss of many souls. The church will pass through a frightful crisis. The Holy Father will suffer greatly. I will be with him to the end and will receive his sacrifice. For a time, God will not remember France or Italy because the gospel of Jesus Christ is no longer known. but the prayers, penance, and tears of the just will ascend to heaven. And the entire people of God will beg for pardon and mercy and ask my assistance and intercession. Then Jesus, by an act of his justice and his great mercy toward the just, will intervene, and there will be peace and reconciliation with God. Charity will flourish everywhere. The gospel will be preached everywhere. And men will make great progress in the faith, because there will be unity among the workers of Jesus Christ, and men will live in the fear of God. Our Lady mentioned that Rome will lose the faith and will become the seat of the Antichrist. She calls her children to combat for God in the days of darkness and sin. By concluding, she said, I address an urgent appeal to the earth. I summon the true disciples of God who lives and reigns in heaven. I summon the true imitators of Christ, made man, the one true Savior of men. I summon my children, my devotees, those who have given themselves to me so that I might lead them to my divine Son, those whom I carry, so to speak, in my arms, those who have lived according to my spirit. Finally, I summon the apostles of the latter times, the faithful disciples of Jesus Christ, who have lived in scorn of the world and of themselves, in poverty and humility, in contempt and in silence, in prayer and in mortification, in chastity and in union with God, in suffering and unknown to the world. It is time for them to arise and come forth to enlighten the earth. So may we cooperate with all these graces Our Lady's giving us, and to heed her plea.